So, this video is going to be pretty much talking about my opinion on on Call of Duty's Battle Royale. All I can really say is that Treyarch pretty much did it again. They created a masterpiece. You know, I mean, leave it to them, honestly. They have, in my absolute opinion, revived Call of Duty. Now it's been pretty good for the last couple of years, but not great. Now that's not just because the battle royale they have, but they have definitely taken what's great about some of the current battle royales that are out and made it
Squad destroyed by hostile action. MTC suspended.
Oh, this is really cool, actually, the kill cam. But yeah, so they've made a lot of what was really good about Fortnite, and also
Potential collapse detected. Advise relocation to indicated safe zone.
and also PUBG, and made it their own in a way. And I'm really happy with it so far. There are some things that I personally would probably would change, but this is just, again, my opinion. I do definitely feel like the health system is good, but not great. And so I definitely would do something about that. But at the same time, I feel like it leaves the balance to it and it keeps it Call of Duty. Now, with that being said, there's also armor and stuff like that that you can pick up, which I've noticed that the armor can really give you an upper hand, but also not as much. I probably wouldn't change that as much, but I would definitely lower it from the 3 tiers that they have. So the level 1, 2, 3. Now that's not a big one or anything like that, but just pretty much what I would change would be probably just the pickup time is fine in my opinion, but it can take a really long time sometimes and can really tear you up just in the beginning basically. But if you're, I mean, you could probably switch that up probably and just say, hey, better. But yeah, so I definitely feel like there's some things that that are good, that are bad, but also not terrible. Now really just health, the healing system's great, so that's not really an issue. What I do really enjoy though is the fighting though. Though you can die pretty fast, the fighting is pretty
Blackout.
good. Guns feel very accurate. Not at all. Not at all bad.
Eliminate all
whatsoever.
opposition.
Now there's nothing I really would change about it. Yeah, I mean the game itself is definitely very good. The map is beautiful. I was wondering actually if they were going to make some sort of way of including the map packs that they usually put for most Call of Duty games, and including that into the Battle Royale. I was wondering if they'd make a smaller map for just dedicated to one of the map packs coming out. Now that would be interesting. It'd definitely be the first Battle Royale that is going to be adding a map every couple of months, I would say. Now, I'm not saying the game needs it, but seeing new fresh environment would be pretty cool, and seeing what they could pull out of their hats would definitely be interesting as well. But yeah, no, everything else so far for the game is like
Potential collapse detected.
it's pretty good.
Advise relocation to indicated safe zone.
The gameplay's fast. It's not like slowed down like PUBG, but not too fast like Fortnite. Well, I would actually say Fortnite's the medium compared to both of these. Now the driving, I would definitely change that. I hate that you have to drive with the L3 stick. Gotta stop doing that. It is definitely weird to drive with L3. I'd rather just drive with R2. Brake with L2. But it is interesting that they decided to go that route. But yeah, it's pretty cool. They've added basically like a perk system. They've also added like a good amount of like equipment, and the equipment in this game feels very like worth it when you actually use them. So like in Fortnite and in PUBG, like when you use a flashbang, it doesn't really benefit you whatsoever.
Supply drop
But
inbound.
in this, it feels like it actually is beneficial, rather than just throwing something at somebody and getting no real like reward from it. So like if you throw a flash at somebody, you're actually going to like flash them, and like I've been flashed a couple of times and it sucks. So yeah, it's definitely like really cool to see that like the equipment is not just some useless thing that really just fills up your backpack, but actually benefits you
Circle collapse. Get to safety.
when it comes down to it. That being said, there's some equipment that probably should change. So like, I don't really think the razor wire is too beneficial. It doesn't really do much for you in the long run. It just really is there just to like slow enemies down, which could definitely be like helpful, but it's not the most helpful. The guns are extremely accurate, as long as you're not terrible, I would say. Getting in and out of houses is fairly smooth. Now I know they did like poke about the pickup time and stuff like that, so that's something that they're going to be fixing, they said, and that they're going to be like looking at. So that's pretty cool. Alright, let's see what I gotta switch here. So it is cool that it's just a beta right now, and they're already thinking about things to just fix the game itself. So it definitely shows that they're willing to work on the game in this beta, and this is genuinely a beta that's like going to be helping the finished product, rather than just the beta to get, you know, more people to buy the game itself. Treyarch is definitely like one of the people that takes Call of Duty and actually does it well. Sledgehammer definitely does a good job, but I mean, like, they haven't been the best so far. You know, like Infinite Warfare wasn't terrible, but definitely Black Ops 4 it can definitely revive Call of Duty and make it better. And kind of like bring it back to where it was when it like first started. I mean, like, Call of Duty was pretty much hype back in the day. Anytime there was a Call of Duty game coming out, it was definitely something to be excited about. And then after a couple years, you know, they just kind of started doing the same thing. So that definitely brought down a lot of what made Call of Duty exciting. Alright, so that's a perk right there called Engineer. Extremely beneficial. If an enemy hopped into that truck right there, it would turn red. I would be able to see him in the truck, not him himself. As you can see right there. So that enemy just left. There he is. So he just left it. I'm going to assume this guy is in this house right there. There you go. As you can see.
discuss here, gentlemen.
Alright.
RTB for AAR and debrief.
Yeah, as you can see, so I did have armor on, but so it's either they have to balance the accuracy of the weapons, or they have to balance the just the bullet damage itself. Because as you see, he took me out in less than a second. So I definitely would say like it's either they have to work out kind of like bullet damage, or just the bullet recoil and gun recoil and stuff like that. So that way there's not always that uh, upper hand when you have to when you either like flank somebody, or when you just get the drop on somebody, because that can make or break you essentially if you don't if you have armor. Even if you have level 3 armor, it pretty much just like destroys you. Now there are specific weapons that are definitely better than others. I definitely would say that this game has a higher likeness to like assault rifles. I usually grab assault rifles no matter what, and if I can, I'll grab a sniper. But the assault rifles definitely take favor in this game. You're never gonna catch anybody running around with an SMG unless they really couldn't find anything else. Shotguns, nobody really holds on to them. They're mainly just a weapon for clearing out in the beginning. So let's say this was a regular job, I would just head in there if nobody was shooting. If I found a shotgun, try to go clear people out. So yeah, I mean, it all really depends on like accuracy, I would say, for like dying too fast. Just pretty much like making some guns a little less accurate. As you can see, like that, I could spray into somebody from all the way over where I was to just like a good couple of feet, and you know I would hit them. Yeah. So I definitely would say like recoil definitely need to be changed. Now again, not complaining too much, just because the game is very good. They did a really good job on just like essentially perfecting in a way the battle royale system. And again, that's a huge word to use definitely for it, but they did a really good job. It's not something like that I really should be worried about. It's a really good game. It's really good like mode. My personal feelings is that I feel like it could take away from. Sorry, I just heard somebody. I feel like it's going to take away from the team deathmatch mode. And I feel like that's gonna be that's gonna suck a little bit, because a lot of people, you know, a lot of people, including myself, pretty much grew up on, you know, like playing Call of Duty, Team Deathmatch, and stuff like that. Like I said, Call of Duty was one of those like first games that really got people excited, and like every game wanted to be like Call of Duty, you know. Ah, there you go. Probably shouldn't run him down. But yeah, Call of Duty was, you know, one of those first games that people really got excited. Everybody wanted to follow, you know, the Call of Duty trend. It's interesting that they're going to be going in the route of not being the trendsetter. That's definitely like something that you never really saw like Call of Duty doing. But changing with times is not necessarily a bad thing. It's definitely going to reinvigorate like the joy of just the games itself. Everybody, you know, it really has only been zombies for Call of Duty. It hasn't really been, you know, multiplayer or anything like that. And I know there's probably like a ton of people who stream it and stuff like that. But it hasn't been like everybody's center attention, you know. It's always been like, you know, this or that. And so like once like Battle Royale came out, it was Battle Royale, and now that Call of Duty's joining that, like, kind of joining that, um, that match with two of the biggest games right now, which is PUBG and Call of Duty. It's it's pretty interesting. I feel like they're honestly gonna knock it out of the park, and I mean, just from this, they've already killed it.
Circle collapse imminent.
Um,
Get to safety.
so I like that. I like to see that they're throwing their hat in the ring and they're like really killing
Supply
it.
drop inbound.
All right, let's use engineer. Just heard a car. But yeah, so these right here are perks, and these perks honestly like are extremely like beneficial to you. You're gonna want to grab them. There's probably just one that that some people would want to change, which is Skulker. Now I personally don't hate it. I love it. Yeah.
That's a hard
So I
fail.
personally
All
do
assets
love
lost.
the Skulker perk. It's definitely a really good perk. Oh, that guy's about to die. Um, it is really used to flank people, and when it flanks people, you're really fast. You just have to crouch and you move at the speed of light. It's extremely good. There's a gameplay that I posted that should have me using Skulker, and it is amazing. Now, whether or not people are going to complain about that, I don't know. I would say I enjoy it. I don't think it should be changed. Um, Paranoia is an interesting perk that they have. I didn't know what it was what it did at first. But if somebody's ADSing you, it will actually let you know. It doesn't tell you where, but it will let you know that somebody is ADSing you, and it will like put up this like random voice that you could hear. Um, but yeah, so like the perks itself, like they definitely balance out the game. They help the game. Um, so I feel like they have made Battle Royale, but made it the Call of Duty way, and that has benefited them definitely, um, because it just threw their hat in the ring, and I definitely feel like when this game comes out, it's going to kill. Like it's gonna kill the game. It's going to do such a good job. Um, Fortnite's gonna actually have a real competitor. I'm not gonna call this PUBG, but if you want to say it is, it is a very polished PUBG. Now PUBG is extremely laggy. Um, haven't had any lag whatsoever on this game. It's extremely polished, no real problems with it. Um, they do a really good job with just like gunplay. Oh, Menendez. And yeah, I mean like PUBG is definitely slacking, trying to find itself. But I feel like this game did a better job and found itself for what it needs to do and what it needs to do to be a Call of Duty Battle Royale game.
Blackout.
Um, it's fast-paced like Call of Duty games. It is um, it is really easy to get around the map, which is great because
Training
even
time's
if you're
over.
looting
Go to
throughout
work.
the game and you find yourself very close to the storm, you can get out of it as soon as you see it and you start running, you'll be in front of it. It's really beneficial to be that fast. And that definitely goes to like goes to just trying to make the game like fast and not so slow. Um, because I feel like that's what well then,
Squad destroyed by hostile
that's
action.
really
NTC suspended.
what brings kind of like PUBG's it's such a yawning game sometimes. It's like you're playing, you're looting, but you see somebody like every couple minutes, you know. Um, Now Fortnite doesn't have that problem, and this doesn't have that problem, and I feel like that's what's gonna make this game Fortnite's competitor and not PUBG anymore. PUBG needs to do something, or else it's definitely going to be hitting the bricks, and that's not something I assume they want to do. They want to think about. Um, Now there are other battle royale games coming out, so we have to like wait and see. But yeah, no, I definitely feel like they got to make sure that they're doing some changing, because this is killing it so far, and it has gotten nothing but positive reviews. It was #1 trending on Twitch when the beta first dropped, so it just goes to show you. And you don't really see PUBG at all on, like, I mean, you see it trending, but you don't see it trending as much anymore. I mean, so many streamers have pretty much quit it and just don't really play it anymore. Like, more of the bigger streamers. But yeah, I mean, like, they need to do something different, or else, you know, they're gonna go sleep with the fishes. It's just gonna be another game that was fun. Now it's not. Now whether Fortnite's gonna get there, I don't know, but Call of Duty, it's definitely has been able to change up its style, and I feel like that's definitely due to it going straight back to Treyarch. Treyarch does an amazing job. So I definitely feel like
AO
it's
is hot.
doing a good job.
LZ is a free fire zone.
Yeah, so that's a map right there. As you can see, it's very big, very good map. No real issues with it. None of the areas feel too cramped or anything like that. You can pretty much drop and expect to get to your position as long as you know when to drop. Oh, mistakes were made. But yeah, so they've done a really good job. The vehicles in the game are not overpowered whatsoever. You can expect yourself to not really need a vehicle. Like some other games, where like the map is just so big that essentially, if you get caught in the storm, hoping that's not at me. Alright. Alright.
Potential collapse detected. Relocation to indicated safe zone is advised.
But yeah, you could pretty much expect. Oh shoot. You can pretty much expect to like, and pretty much PUBG to like, you're not going to get anywhere unless you have a car. And I feel like this game doesn't have that issue. You can pretty much, like I said before, you can outrun any storm that you get yourself into, as long as you know when to run. Healing system, extremely good, extremely fast. So no issue there. Yeah, but like I said, like the game itself is like really good. It does a really good job with balance, balancing certain things. Like I still feel like the healing, I mean not the healing, the health definitely needs a change. It needs to be able to, you need to be able to actually react before you can actually, you know, before you die, essentially. It doesn't benefit it to have essentially.
Next call. Supply drop incoming.
Alright, to have everybody, you know, dying like every first couple seconds of the game.
Circle collapse imminent. Get to safety.
Because it really just like, it kind of like takes away from the fun, you know. You want to be able to put up a fight, some sort of fight, in order to actually have a good time. Now when you take that away from somebody, I feel like that's where you see a lot of people like leaving the game. There's no games I could think about right now that really have that issue. But I feel like it would definitely help the game to to have a balance on that, so that way you're not always dying every second, you know, or every time you just so happen to get like sprung on. The game itself, though, like I said, doing really good. If I was going to say anything about Blackout, it's that health needs to be fixed, or just recoil needs to be a thing, basically, or you know, just try to see some way of balancing it. Nice, level 2. Yeah, so right there, so that's like some armor right there. It's a cool thing that they didn't make the armor. They kind of made the armor just like not PUBG, Fortnite, where they made it so that it's one kind of thing you have to pick up. Now the different thing about Fortnite is that their armor is you won't get hurt from anything. Like somebody can shoot you and you would be perfectly fine. This game, the armor only deflects a certain amount of damage, but you still get hurt. That's interesting. That's definitely really cool. I think it's a unique way of like making armor. And like I said, they have made this their own game, and they are doing like a really good job. I'm actually gonna turn over here, and I think they did like a great job with it. But yeah, gameplay feels really smooth. No real issue there. So you can expect like really good like performance. There's never like anytime I've had any performance issues that have caused my game to like essentially go down the drain. I'm not lagging, nothing. Alright, let's see. Yeah, so those are pretty much my issues and like my likes about the game. I don't think. Oh, hello. I don't think there's too many. I feel like I don't know if you feel like I had a lot of issues. Alright, let's see what we can do about this. Yeah, like I said, though, equipment is definitely something that is so beneficial to this game. It does like a really good job of like showing that like
Be advised.
again,
Further
it's
collapse
a
expected.
Call of Duty game
Relocate to safe zone.
with PUBG and Fortnite aspect. This is a really cool equipment that you can pick up. Recon car. And as you can see, like, you can get out of it. The only thing is that you'd have to go pick it up. So it's not like just like, oh, like you can just keep going with it. You have to pick it back up, or else you pretty much just lose it. Now, unfortunately, you can't RCXD people with it, so it doesn't explode. But I think that would just, I mean, that would be overkill in itself if that was like a thing. All right, let's see. I want to get in a fight. I believe. What is he shooting at? But yeah, so like the equipment in this game, super beneficial, super helpful. It does a really good job of making the game like its own. You know. Where are you? Alright. Oh god,
Outgunned,
that was bad.
outplayed, and out of luck.
Yeah, so those are pretty much my likes and concerns about the game. Don't really anything to talk about now. So
Circle
hopefully this
collapse
video
imminent.
wasn't too
Get
long,
to safety.
but if you guys did enjoy the video, feel free to, like and subscribe. Yeah, thanks for watching.